Today I'm here to review The Walking Dead issue 125. So let's get started. And also, this is part 11 of All Out War. So let's get started with this review. Man, I love this issue. And this issue definitely showed how good Robert Kirkman is when it comes to his writing skills for The Walking Dead. And also how good his writing skills is when it comes to writing villains on The Walking Dead, because Negan is not your typical villain. He's so unpredictable, and you don't never know what is Negan's next move. That's how unpredictable he is. And Robert Kirkman, like I say, he's a genius when it comes to writing a comic book, especially The Walking Dead. Now in this issue, you see Rick, he actually attacks Negan this time. And from what I can tell, I wouldn't say that he completely I wouldn't say that he completely had sliced Negan's throat open. It's possible that he cut Negan with the same knife that Negan and his men had used with zombie blood on it. Because I remember Negan saying, if we don't kill them, at least they will still be infected because our weapons have zombie blood on it. And I think Rick is playing Negan's game this time, and he's going to make Negan suffer just like the rest of his group did at the Hilltop, and also at the Alexandria safety zone. And he also wants Negan to suffer in agony, just like he had Glenn doing when he was beating Glenn's head in with a baseball bat. And you can see, I wouldn't say that Rick actually tried to kill him. Like I said, I think that Rick just tried to cut him open so he could get infected by that knife. Because I think that is the same knife that Negan and his men had. But also, I could be wrong. Maybe Rick did try to actually kill Negan, and maybe he succeeded in killing Negan when he had cut Negan's throat open, or sliced Negan's throat open. So maybe he tried to kill him, and maybe, like I say, he just playing Negan game and just cut him open and let the zombie blood get it. Well, let the zombie blood get into the open wound to affect Negan and let him suffer in agony. Also, Negan's characterization is hands down. I love Negan's characterization. It's so fucking good, because in this episode, it's revealed that, and I always knew this. I always knew about Negan's character, even in the past through the previous issues that got released. I always knew that Negan, when he killed Glenn, it wasn't nothing personal. It was pretty much to show a example, or set a example. That was his main goal. It was never nothing personal about killing Glenn. And also, when he was debating about who to kill, this how you know Negan's characterization is so good and so unpredictable. Because, and also this guy actually had morals, believe me or not, because when he was debating about killing one of the people in Rick's group, he was gonna kill Heath, but Heath was black, and he says, I'm not gonna kill him because then you're gonna think I'm racist. And when I heard him say that, I was like, wow, he's not your typical villain here. I never seen that when he says, I'm not going to kill that guy because then you're going to think I'm racist. I was like, wow. Also, to add, Negan was a man who tried to make peace, and he revealed it in his issue. He tried to make peace, but he went about doing it the wrong way. And when you talk about power and also maintaining power, obtaining power, you have to think about some of the consequences that it come with and some of the benefits that it come with. But power is an overall thing that matters in this world, point blank, period. Even in the real world, even especially in a zombie apocalypse, power, it matters, because without power, you can't maintain peace. It's impossible to maintain peace without power. And I hate it's that way, but Negan made it clear in this episode. Even Rick made it clear in this episode. Without power, you can't maintain peace. And Negan knew this, but he was going at it the wrong way. He became hungry. He became a sociopath. And when we talk about a sociopath also, the signs of a sociopath is people that is changed in a different environment. Because when a human being is put into a certain environment, they're going to change. They have to change. And if they don't, well, that's on them. But in our reality, you have to change. In Negan, he changed, but he was a man who still had morality. But like I say, him maintaining power, it was so he maintained it in a different way until he realized when Rick was talking to him that he went about doing it the wrong way. He became hungry. He let his power consume him. But also to add, when he was talking to Rick, he did say the reason of him the reason of him keeping his power was to maintain peace. So at least he had a good mind perspective and he knew where he was going with it. But he changed and he didn't even realize he changed because he became hungry. And also when Rick was talking to Negan in this chapter, giving him that speech reminded me of the same speech that his TV counterpart Rick did in the TV series when he was talking to the governor and he was telling the governor about the peace. You can see how Robert Kirkman he kind of embedded some of that speech that Rick said in the TV series, and he kind of put it in his comic book series when Rick was talking to Negan, except Rick did it a different way. And also, it was always some foreshadowing of Rick getting a hold to Negan, but we never knew when. Because I remember when Negan had killed Glenn, and Negan was pretty much telling Rick about his leadership and telling him that the rules have changed. Because in one of the panels of the old issues, I think Something to Fear, I can't remember which part it was, he tells Rick, your best fucking he says your best fucking change is right now. Stand up. He says stand up and put a knife in my throat. And when he says stand up and put a knife in my throat, I was like, and then he did it in this episode. It was all Robert Kirkman always hinted some foreshadowing of this happening when I read that panel in that issue. And then after he tells Rick to stand up, after he tells Rick to stand up and put a knife in my throat, he pretty much said go ahead as soon he said as soon as my body hits the floor, the survivors were fucking I think he said they were fucking fuck you up or they will he said something similar to that. The survivors will fuck you up because like I say, he does tell Rick to put a knife through his throat. He was giving Rick the opportunity to give it then, but the problem was Rick didn't have the manpower to stand up to Negan. And also you can tell that Negan becomes really desperate throughout the whole battle. Because I remember at one point when he was talking to Carl. No, I remember at one point when he was talking to the people at his sanctuary. And even before that, he was talking to them outside of the hilltop or the Alexandria safety zone. He was telling his people, whatever you do, you can kill everybody else, but don't kill Rick. I need him. Because he know Rick has power and he knows Rick has this influence over these people that give these people hope. And he knows this. And he knows, at that point, he knew if I kill Rick, where else can I get another person to step up into that group and motivate these people and give these people faith like Rick do? Because he also state that Rick was the reason he was able to get more food or get more supplies and medicine was because of Rick, because Rick took those risks with his people to go out there and look for food when Douglas didn't do it. So yeah, this is, like I said, this issue was real good, and some of the stuff that happened in this issue, like I say, we thought Rick was sick, and a lot of people saying that Rick was probably immune to the arrow that the White had shot, because Negan did kind of get on. He did kind of start figuring the White out after he realized that Rick was coming, and Rick wasn't harmed. He didn't see no sweat in Rick's face, because prior to that, Negan did tell the White and the rest of the group outside the Hilltop zone that Rick should be sick, and that Rick should be sick, and he should have sweat coming down his face, or sweating his shirt off, He said something similar to that when he realized that Rick wasn't sweating, and also Rick wasn't showing no signs of being sick. He kind of questions the White after he sees that, and he says the White, this better. He says the White, this. He said, no, no. He says the White, this better be a fucking ghost that I see, when he saw Rick jumping over the bus at the Hilltop zone. So yeah, man, I love this issue, and I don't think Negan is dead. I think it's possible that Negan will be in the next issue, but like I say, he's probably infected from that zombie blood that was on the knife. And also, I do know, because Negan is on the next cover of the next Walking Dead issue. So, and I do understand that sometimes the covers are just metaphors, and sometimes the stuff that's on the covers don't actually happen in the actual issues. I understand that clear, but like I say, it's possible we might see him. I don't think Rick really cut deep inside his throat to slice it open to kill him. So this right here was my Walking Dead issue 125 review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. My first issue of the Walking Dead comic book. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe, rate, comment, thumbs up the video. And for everybody out there, have a blessed day. Love you all, and peace. And also subscribe.